Hello and welcome back to Tinker Talks Guns. Let's have a little chat about sights on defensive pistols. There is a school of thought that says that sights are not necessary on a defensive pistol. And go a little deeper down the rabbit hole, let's clarify what a defensive pistol is. By this we are referring to a handgun used by a private citizen in defense of themselves or another innocent person. These encounters usually involve very few shots at very close range. And this prompts some people to say that sights aren't necessary. I disagree. Now, for a number of reasons. Okay, so back at the dawn of time, about somewhere in the vicinity of the time that I became a police officer, the New York City Police Department was training people in instinctive shooting, which is a misnomer. Humans do not possess any instincts for firing a handgun. Maybe in a few million years, but not currently. Utilizing this technique, an exceptional individual could achieve very good results on the range. An exceptional individual. Note that most people are not exceptional individuals, or these people would not be called exceptional individuals. In practice, the average New York City police officer involved in a shooting at 3 to 5 feet was hitting 25% of the time, one bullet in 4. Then they adopted a technique called the flash sight picture. The following year, after universally implementing the flash sight picture, the hit rate jumped from 25% to 65%. Now, that's significant. Now, I maintain that this is less because of actual use of the sight, but rather because training to use a flash sight picture trains you to point the gun accurately. Because you have to point the gun accurately to pick up the sights. And there are various training methods to achieve this. So, even if things go too fast and too up close in a civilian defensive shooting, even if you don't have time to use the sights, being habituated to using the sights is going to improve your chances of hitting. That's pretty simple. And consequently, it's probably a good idea to train on a gun with sights. Now, I very much like my Smith & Wesson Model 642. The gun is 15 ounces loaded with 5 rounds of .38 Special. It's compact, it's lightweight, and I outfitted mine with custom grips that I made that fit my hand really well. I also worked on the trigger just a little. It's now 8 pounds and quite smooth. But the sights on a standard 642 aren't very good. They are usable. You can achieve good results with them. But they are not fast to pick up. And to use them effectively in a high-stress situation requires an perhaps excessive amount of training. And I thought perhaps I could do something about that. And we're going to have a look at the tabletop on what I did about it. Okay, we're going to have a rather abbreviated tabletop because the one I did in the shop didn't work. So I'm just doing it in here where there's air conditioning. Now, as you can see, I have cut off the serrated ramp, which, while adequate, was not particularly good, and fabricated and installed a large diameter fiber optic. And by large diameter, this is a 1/8 inch fiber optic. And as you can see, it produces quite a large visible dot. Now, I flattened the top slightly and serrated it to reduce glare, which looks butt ugly with this aluminum black, and enlarged the rear notch. So you simply set the conspicuous dot in the V notch and keep it there while you pull the trigger. And this dot in full overhead sunlight is not too bright, but it's usable, very easily usable, even in twilight, as I have discovered from practice. And I'm very happy with the results. It works good, and it is quick to pick up. Now, the only deficit I found at the range is that it shoots a little low. Fortunately, in the 642, there is room for me to dovetail in a rear sight for this to sit in, because it shoots a little low. I can fix that with a rear sight, and it will have a V-notch very similar to what is already cut into the frame, just a little higher to bring the point of impact down. So, there you have it. It's not rocket science. So as it turns out, my LDOF, large diameter optic fiber sight, works pretty good. And it's simple enough to make. Maybe someone will make one. Who knows? I'm personally very happy with it. Now, the gun still needs some work. The finish is a little long in the tooth, so I'll probably gun coat it pretty soon. And maybe do some other small modifications, so you'll be seeing this gun again. Anyway, as ungainly as it looks, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. It works, and it works very well, and it does what it's meant to. Don't know what more you could ask. Shout out to my Patreons. All of this costs money, so thank you very much for your donations. It helps more than you know. Also, special thanks to Steve G, a friend of mine who dropped off some 38 special molds so I could cast bullets to make ammunition to shoot this video. So thanks very much. Also, thanks to other channel benefactors who have contributed time, ammunition, equipment, even guns to the show, to the show, I guess you call it a show, and who allow me on a fairly regular basis to showcase their guns, fire them, and tell you about them. So thank you also. So, I hope this finds you well. Stay safe, take care, and we'll talk to you again real soon.